everyone, it's me, Professor Best Guy. Welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 2.8 State of the Union, and let's get right into it. Now that we're all caught up with Kingdom Hearts 0.2, we're all set to launch into our next topic. However, before we discuss the last piece of the 2.8 collection, back cover, we need to take some time to unpack what is effectively the sub-series that is Kingdom Hearts Key, as there are some very important details that you have to know if you want to understand what the fuck is going on. Also keep in mind that this video isn't simply an analysis of the story of Kingdom Hearts Key, but also of the way in which it was presented. Kingdom Hearts Key is actually a collection of 3 distinct entities: the original Kingdom Hearts Key for PC, Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, the remake for mobile phones, and Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. Now, you may have been under the impression that the Kingdom Hearts collections 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 were released to give players who missed out on some parts of the Kingdom Hearts saga over the years the ability to catch up on everything they had missed all in one place and prepare them for the release of Kingdom Hearts 3. There is, however, one exception to this, and that is Kingdom Hearts Key. Because you see, back cover, being a movie as opposed to a game, does not exist in this collection to retell the events of Kingdom Hearts Key as you might expect, similarly to the way 358 Over 2 Days and Recoded were repackaged to do just that. In fact, back cover is an expansion to the story of Kingdom Hearts Key, and the implications of that are that if you go into back cover not having full knowledge of the events of Kingdom Hearts Key, you will be confused and you will be angry. Kingdom Hearts Key itself was a PC browser game released exclusively in Japan that nobody gives a fuck about anymore because it died last year and it's never coming back. Unchained Key, however, is the re-release of that game for mobile phones where shit gets hot. Unchained is a shitty mobile game designed, naturally, to bait nostalgia-blinded Kingdom Hearts fans with favorite old characters and a spattering of canon lore so that their brains will be too numb to notice themselves being separated from their money. And, naturally, I've been playing it for almost a year. It's one of the countless free, pay-to-play, pay-to-win, pay-to-get-all-the-good-shit now games that have sprung up, especially in the mobile market, in recent years. And I guarantee that there is nothing that elevates this game above any of the others on the market outside of having the Kingdom Hearts label slapped on the thing. You turn the thing on every day to get your bonus jewels, buy some medals, do some daily missions, kill some Heartless, remember how tedious this all is, and then grapple with the idea of just buying your way to the end of this endless string of levels, cause who really gives a fuck? It is possible, however, to get through the game without using money. I'm personally proud to have become the dominant figure in my party, shoutouts to Orgy13, without spending one fucking nickel. But the game bottlenecks you so aggressively early on with its stamina system and incredibly hard boss fights, like really unfairly hard, that most people will either give up or do what the creators intended and buy their way through. To be fair, most mobile games do these things, but that's why they're shit. By the way, take a look at my honey, she's so fly. Anyway, you get the point by now. The game's trash, and frankly, there is nothing else worth discussing about the gameplay. But what is worth discussing is the only reason anyone would suffer through this game, the canonical Kingdom Hearts story. It goes a little something like this. Long ago, in the age of fairy tales, all the worlds of Kingdom Hearts were connected and everything was fucking great. You are some asshole with a keyblade. You and the other assholes live in a place called Daybreak Town, a kind of hub world where everyone important lives. But they've got a problem in Daybreak Town. Darkness is continually encroaching on it from all sides, and fucking Heartless keep appearing to kill everyone. The solution to this problem is for Keyblade wielders to go out and kill those Heartless, which produces a resource called Lux, which apparently can be used to drive back that darkness. The numerous Keyblade wielders have organized themselves under 5 leaders known as the Foretellers into competing groups called unions. Hence the name of this series. Yes, I am in fact a genius. You, the player, are forced to decide which one you want to join when you start the game, and the Lux you earn is tallied into the monthly competitions the unions have to see who can gather the most. Now, the reason the leaders are called Foretellers is where we get into the real shit here. So these 5 guys, as well as a 6th we meet later, are all apprentices of a dude called the Master of Masters. He basically taught them everything they know and made them real human beings. But more importantly, he gave each of them a very special gift, a copy of the Book of Prophecies. You see, the Master has the power of foresight and looked into the future for all kinds of shit and wrote down what he saw in this book. So these things are pretty useful, as you'd imagine. One kind of clever thing it does is explain how characters from far in the future, like Aladdin and Beast, can appear in the time frame of Kingdom Hearts Key, which, as you may know, is in the distant past. Turns out the characters you're seeing are actually illusions created by the Book of Prophecies using information gathered from the Master's foresight. I have no idea why this is being done, but it's actually a decent explanation for that kind of gameplay gimmick in a Kingdom Hearts game, so I'll take it. Never say I'm unfair to this series. But the most important thing in there was that there was a prophecy that predicted the end of the fucking world. Specifically, that a war would destroy everything and the world would be swallowed by darkness forever. This ties into the whole Lux gathering thing I was talking about and is the reason why the unions are so dedicated to gathering it, using that Lux to combat the darkness to make sure that this prophecy doesn't come true. It's completely pointless because the Master's prophecies always come true, but hey, you can't fault him for trying. Now, this is all top secret information you as the player gather over the course of hundreds of missions, during most of which nothing happens. But there is another important event that occurs during this time. One day, as you're just bumming around Daybreak Town, you run into a guy from a different union named Ephemera, or Ephemer. I'm going to call him Ephemera because that's much easier to pronounce. You start talking to him and he brings up a topic he's been thinking about for a while. Why exactly are there different unions? What is the point of the competition between them to collect Lux, since they're all trying to achieve the same goal? At the time, you really have no idea what the answer is, but you've made a good friend of Ephemera regardless, and the two of you decide to team up to find the answer. Unfortunately, before you can get very far in your investigation, Ephemera goes missing and is never heard from again. Your character is very saddened by this, but eventually you meet an old friend of Ephemera's from his union named Skuld, who also shares your suspicion that Ephemera's inquiries into the nature of the unions may have gotten him into trouble, possibly even being killed by the Foretellers. So the two of you decide to pick up where he left off and go investigate the Foreteller headquarters. And that's where you meet Master Ava, leader of the Foxy Vulpes Union. At first, she disguises herself as your union leader and fights you as a test of your strength, but when you win, she reveals that she has a proposal for you. So here's where everything important gets revealed. Master Ava tells you that the prophecy that the worlds will be destroyed and consumed in darkness will happen without a doubt, and there is no way to stop it. But because of that, she was given a special task by the Master to form an organization that would gather together the strongest Keyblade warriors and protect them from the apocalypse to come somehow, so that they would be able to rebuild society after it occurs. This organization would be called the Dandelions. She also tells you that she had previously been made aware of the investigation Ephemera was conducting into the nature of the unions and decided that he would be worthy to lead the group if anything happened to her. But you might be wondering what's going to happen to everyone not in the Dandelions when this happens. Well, they are literally all going to die in the motherfucking Keyblade War. Not wanting to die, your buddy Skuld decides to join right away, but your character takes some time to think about it. There's then a final scene of Ava informing her Dandelions of all this information, and that's all we know. The end. Well, we actually know a lot more, but this is as far as the story in the English version of Unchained has gone, though I admit I have no idea how far it is in the Japanese version. This information is contained in Quest 555 of the story. As of this recording, the quests go up to 570, but nothing of importance has happened since 555, trust me. Now, having completed this major quest milestone, which came out around the same time as 2.8 and back cover, what you'd think you'd want to do is go right now and watch back cover, right? Well, no. And here is where we get into a major issue with this whole Kingdom Hearts key thing. To be understood, back cover is meant to be watched having completed Kingdom Hearts key. Now, I'm not talking about Unchained Key, the mobile game. I'm talking about the original Kingdom Hearts key for PC that was only in Japanese and doesn't exist anymore. And the reason I say that is because Key had massive amounts of story beyond what's presented in Unchained by Mission 555 that you need to know if back cover is going to make any sense to you. Now, I got a theory as to why they chose to do it this way. Are you ready for it? Okay, here it is. To make money! You know, I don't have a problem with companies making money. I really got no problem with it. Speaking of which, patreon.com/bestguyever. But you gotta see how stupid this is. Back cover, part of the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 collection, deliberately isn't a summary of Kingdom Hearts Key to prepare players for Kingdom Hearts 3. Instead, it is an incomplete story and a giant advertisement meant to trick people into playing a shitty game like Unchained. I get it. I really get it. Square Enix wants and needs money. I just don't care for shitty products, that's all. 570 quests in this game, and I felt like maybe 20 of those had anything of interest to say. It's almost impressive, this dedication to wasting players' time. You really have to go out of your way to do it. And guess what? That's not even the end of it. Square Enix announced a new mobile game in the Kingdom Hearts Key miniseries, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. Turns out it's sort of an expansion/update to Unchained Key, but with the additional feature of being able to play the shitty missions multiplayer with your friends. And the story seems to be about the Dandelions after the Keyblade War. And I gotta ask, do we really need to know about this? I'm sorry, but you gotta understand, every shitty new game like this, I have to play to find out the lore. And one shitty mobile game was enough. They got me and everybody like me by the balls. Again, I know they need money, but people were making jokes about how there'd be another Kingdom Hearts game before 3, and everybody laughed it off. But it's fucking true! And guess what? Remember how this game takes place in the distant past? Well, Ventus is here now! What?! You know, I had a giant script written full of notes about back cover, but frankly, it's not worth my time or yours. It's bullshit, alright? That's all you need to know right now. I'm out of here.